You love biryani, don't you? Well, for me, biryani has always been my first love. For the uninitiated, the biryani is a spicy mixed rice dish that originated from the Indian subcontinent. Today, there are thousands of variants of biryani all across the globe. Since I'm in Kolkata, the most famous variant of biryani here is the Kolkata style biryani. Now, for most of us, having biryani is directly proportional to our visits to North Indian or Mughlai restaurants or our orders online. But not anymore. You know why? It is because today I'll be teaching you how you can easily prepare biryani at your home following three basic steps. I'm Sangeeta, you're watching the Whimsy Crafter, and let's get started. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified about latest videos on my channel. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you found it useful and don't forget to comment below with your queries. The first step is preparing the main ingredients for the biryani. So here I have about 100 grams of mutton, and to this I'll add some curd, some ginger garlic paste, biryani masala, this is store bought, you can make your own, coriander powder, cumin powder, turmeric powder, some salt, and then rose water. This is optional, and kevra water. This is also optional. I'll mix all these ingredients together really well so that the mutton pieces are coated with the masalas. I'll also add some white oil to this mixture. I'll prepare the entire recipe using white oil. You can also add mustard oil. The choice is yours. So add the oil and mix the mixture really well. After mixing the mutton and the masala thoroughly, I'll cover this container using a cling film and refrigerate this for a minimum of 2 hours to a maximum of overnight. For preparing the rice, I have taken 150 grams of basmati rice and I'll soak this in water after washing it thoroughly. So as you can see here, I'll pour the rice in a container and I'll pour water in it and wash the rice grains thoroughly. You can see the water is becoming cloudy. I've discarded the clouded water and now after washing thrice, the water is clear now. I'll keep it soaked like this for an hour. The next step is cooking the main ingredients of the biryani. So as you can see, I've taken my marinated mutton pieces and now I'll cook them. For cooking them, first I'll heat oil in a non-stick pan and fry potatoes in it. But before that, I'll smear the potatoes with turmeric powder so that they get a lovely golden brown color on frying. Kolkata style biryani is incomplete without potato. So, first I'll fry the potatoes in this oil and then I'll use this oil for preparing the mutton. So the oil has heated up. I'll add the potato pieces and fry them until they are golden brown in color. As you can see here that the potatoes have already attained a golden yellow color, so I'll remove them from the oil. And now I'll flavor the oil using whole spices. So first I'll be adding cloves followed by green cardamom. I'll burst open the pods so that they release their flavor really well. Next, I'll add cinnamon sticks, peppercorns, bay leaf, and lastly, shahi jeera. You can also use ordinary jeera. And I'll saute these whole spices in the oil until they release their flavor completely. Keep the gas on medium to medium low flame so that you don't burn the whole spices. You can crush the spices using your ladle just like I am doing. So the spices have already released their flavor, as you can see now over here. And now to this oil, I'll add sliced onions. Make sure not to add too much of onions, otherwise the gravy will become too sweet. I'll add a little bit of sugar to this to help in caramelizing the onions. So keep sauteing the onions like this as I'm showing over here. And before long, you'll be attaining exactly this color as I'm showing you here. This is slightly brown in color, and right now you will be adding the ginger garlic paste and saute it further so that the raw smell vanishes. Some more ginger garlic paste is left to be added, so I added them over here. Now I'll add the powdered spices. So first coriander powder, then cumin powder, followed by turmeric powder. And now I will roast all these spices together until the oil separates from them. Keep the flame low, otherwise the spices will burn. Add the tomatoes and mix them thoroughly well with the masala and further roast them and cover them so that the tomatoes become tender. The tomatoes have become tender. I'll mash it using my ladle like this, and I'll continue roasting the masala. And now I'll add the marinated pieces of mutton along with the gravy in it. I'll wash this container and use that water to add to the gravy. Now I will add a pinch of salt and start mixing all of these ingredients together thoroughly. I'm coating the pieces of mutton with the masalas which I have roasted so long. You can see that the masala is thickening gradually. Keep stirring, otherwise it might burn at the bottom. This is how I coat the mutton pieces using the masala. You can see the oil has already started to separate. Now I'll add around half cup of water and mix the mixture together and bring it to a boil by covering the mixture. The mixture is boiling and you can see the gravy is thickening again. Now at this point, I'll add the potatoes and mix them really well so that they get coated with the gravy. Next, I'll pour some ghee in this gravy, followed by garam masala powder, and mix them really well. And after this, I will add this mixture to a pressure cooker. As you can see here, I'll add a cup of water to the pressure cooker along with the mixture and cook this for 7 to 8 whistles. Next, I'll prepare the rice. I'll drain the water first and then I'll place a container filled with water and add oil to it, followed by salt and whole spices like shahi jeera, cinnamon, cloves and cardamom. I'll give this a good stir. And then I'll add a bay leaf and bring this entire concoction to a boil. It is only after the water comes to a boil that I'll add the rice to the water. So I'm adding the rice to the water now. Be very careful. I'll mix the rice thoroughly with the water and let it cook for 15 minutes or until the rice is 80% done. So the water has started to boil again, as you can see here. My rice is 70% done right now. It needs to cook for about 5 minutes longer. Now the rice is fully cooked. So I'll turn off the induction and add water at room temperature to the container before draining out the starch from the rice. So you can see the rice is almost cooked. After draining out the starch, I'll spread the rice on a plate to cool it partially, just like this. For flavoring the rice further, I'll take a bowl of cold milk and to it I'll add meetha atar. This is also a flavoring substance and is optional. I like the flavor of meetha atar in my biryani, that is why I'm adding this over here. Just a little bit of it will go a long way. Now the final step is assembling the main ingredients for preparing the biryani. So over here I have taken a container and I'll layer the bottom of the container using the rice. So I'll evenly layer the bottom of the container using a spoon, just like this. And then I'll add few drops of desi ghee followed by garam masala powder and a pinch of salt. Next, I'll add the cooked pieces of mutton. You can see how well the mutton has been cooked. So I'll place the mutton pieces and I'll arrange the potatoes on the four sides. I'll also add a teaspoon of the gravy. I'll finish off the layering by adding the final layer of rice. I'll level it out using a spoon. Then I'll again add few drops of desi ghee, followed by garam masala powder and a pinch of salt. After which I'll be adding some more of the gravy right in the middle, not on the sides but in the middle. And then I'll add the colored milk on just one side of the container so that we get two different colors of rice grains. After this, I'll seal off the container using a plate and then I'll put a weight on it. There's no need of wasting flour dough by using it to seal the container. I'll keep the container in this form for 5 minutes on high flame. After 5 minutes, I'll remove the container from the flame and place a tawa on it instead. And then I'll place the container on the tawa so that the biryani can cook on indirect heat. I'll keep the container like this for around 25 minutes and then check for the results. Now, so this is the moment of truth. Let us open the lid and see how our biryani has turned out. I'll ruffle up the layers with a spoon. So far so good. I'll pour the biryani on a plate for your closer inspection. So this is the plate and I'm emptying the container and spreading the biryani on the plate. You can see that the biryani has been cooked really well. I'll show you a close-up of the mutton piece. This has been thoroughly well cooked and is a tender piece of succulent mutton. And here's the piece of potato. If I cut through it, it slides in easily. And this is also a flavorful piece of potato to accompany your biryani. See, I'm already drooling and I can't wait to gorge in. And while I am at it, why don't you go ahead and give this a try and let me know in the comments below how things turned out. Preparing biryani is not rocket science. I myself succeeded in the fifth attempt. Keep trying, keep experimenting, and always remember to try out in little quantities when experimenting with a new dish. Let me know in the comments below how things turned out. Happy cooking till then.